Good morning, YouTube. So, kind of just getting up, slept in a touch today because I was up late last night with working in the fights and all that fun stuff. The stable didn't dry like I hoped it would. I'm walking to it now. I'll show it to you. All right, I'm not sure if it's completely obvious to you, but this whole floor is like darkened. Compared to what it should be. If you don't know, cement's not waterproof. It absorbs water. You have to coat it with something, usually a silicone or I don't know, epoxy in my case. So over here is a spot that's dry, right? Over by the window, there's some dry spots here, but the whole thing is dark compared to the few spots that are emerging now as dry. I'm concerned that it's just not going to hit the level of dryness today that would make me comfortable sealing it. Also, it rained, and when it rains, water comes in, I think it's from there, and it pools right here. We had a difficult kind of problem to solve in that we lowered this floor so that the tractor could fit under that roof right there, and then like if it stayed low right there, then the garage door wouldn't have hit the bottom. And so you can see against that wall how it ramps back up. It goes zoop. Anyway, this spot here, check out this bug. This spot here where that bug is, it rained last night, like thunderstorm, the power went out, all that craziness, and water came in here and pooled. So it's extra wet right there. I don't know if epoxy's going on this today. I just feel like it's too wet. It's clean enough. It's not perfectly clean, which was my target, like just absolute perfection. It seems like I still have crumbs on it here and there, but we hosed it down twice. We pressure washed it 3 times. We etched it with acid, and throughout that whole process, there are still little crumbs that manage to persist. So it's mostly clean. Like I feel like my feet are clean right now, but here, look, you see, like this needs sweeping. Anyway, what it also needs is this. This area here, I'm gonna try to fill it with dirt, probably to just where that door is, and then like have it slope away from the building and see if that prevents water from draining inside. So that's on today's to-do list. Just in case I didn't fully explain myself, because I'm not sure if I did, we aspire to put the epoxy on today because Jackie leaves tomorrow. And if we don't do it today, I'm either doing it myself or when she comes back. But I think one of those two things is more likely to happen than for us to have dry concrete. All right, so this kind of work is really not my area of expertise, but the hope is that with it grading down like that, high by the brick and low down here, that it doesn't drain into the shop anymore. Anyway, I have another task to do. So this is my gravel driveway. You guys have seen this before. It has a couple issues in it. One, from the bulldozer delivery, it has these big ruts in it, and I don't like that. And two, there are plants starting to crop up, like here. So I thought I'd take the land plane out and clean things up. I'll show you the land plane. This is my land plane. It's used, it really just has one job that I know of, and it's making land flat. Kind of like a wood plane makes wood flat, this makes land flat. And how it works is there's sort of 3 parts to it. These things are called scarifiers. Hopi, can you swing around the front so they can see it from that angle? We're not going to use these much today, but their purpose is to break up like hardened soil and stuff. This stuff will break up just by dragging on it, so I'm not going to set these deep. But that's what they're for like new land that you're just breaking. These 2 things are the planes. And what happens is as you drag along, they call this space between here a reservoir. It fills up with all sorts of either loose topsoil or in this case driveway gravel, and it pours over the top evenly. if there's a big rut in the ground, and I have some, then it will just dump out the bottom and fill in the ruts. So after a couple of passes, you should have a nice, smooth driveway. And it can be that after you do this, there's dirt on top, but it rains, the rocks show through, and the dirt goes away, and you've got a good-looking driveway. So let's make that happen. Has been either raining or completely windless, just dead still for like a week now. And I think it's kind of like this wind right before the storm. We're getting a bit of a breeze, and I'm gonna try kiting. So I brought Hope here to work the camera and maybe help me with the kite. I got Colin here to work the drone, and hopefully this is the best kiting footage the planet has ever seen.
Go.
Switch this from... But for right now, I need a break. All right, I'm way too hot. We're going to be inside for a little while.
And really conceited, apparently.
Thanks, Hope. So we had this big thunderstorm roll through, and I came out here to check whether or not the water came in anymore, and I don't know. Like, obviously it didn't pool up. I think this is wet from us cleaning it. You can see the whole place is a little wet here and there, and this is the wettest, but it also like pools here when you clean it because it's a low spot, and it had to be that way. But it bothers me that this door is wet. So, I don't know. I'm glad water didn't come in. It really did pour, but it's a little early to declare success. A few parting words. I've had a couple subscribers write me and talk about the fact that I work too much. I guess what they're saying is like, look, you saved your whole life, and then you put some money aside and you bought a nice home and you did your thing. He's like, but all I ever see you doing is maintaining it, working on it, and like you're not really enjoying life. And it got me thinking, and I think that I am enjoying life. When I look at what other people do, right? Like Mark Cuban, Bill Gates, of course, there's no comparison between what I've got and what they've got. But when I look at what they're doing, they don't just stop. They don't say, hey, you know what? I've made enough money. I don't need to do anything else. I'm going to lay around. Like, just watching Netflix all day is not the key to happiness, right? The goal in this thing is not to just be laying on a beach chair in the Caribbean. That's really nice short term. I get bored in 5 minutes if I'm laying on a beach chair. I have got to get up and do a thing. Go play, go work, go do whatever you derive happiness and satisfaction from. So when they say, Woody, why don't you just like lay on the couch all the time? That to me is like a one-way ticket to depression. If I just lay on the couch in the dark watching movies on my big screen, that's not cool, man. It's awful to me. Maybe that's your thing, but for me, like, heck, I feel like we see it in the gaming YouTube community a lot. What starts off as, oh my God, I can't believe I get to do this. A day at work playing video games is what I used to consider my day off. Who could have dreamed for anything better? But you do it for a couple of years and it's the grind. And you really wish that you could just be like outside with your hair in the wind in your hair. So yeah, and this is, to me, where I get happy. Like when I look at Bill Gates, he has all the money in the world. He can do anything he wants. And he derives his satisfaction and pleasure and what have you from fixing the world. He's like out in Africa trying to cure AIDS and give people clean water and things like that. That's what makes him tick now. Which, by the way, Bill, if you're watching, good job. What makes me tick is not just watching Netflix. So, you know, I like fixing my stuff. Anyway, that's why I do the stuff I do. It's not that like, you know, there's never a chance to sit down and breathe. It's that too much sitting down and breathing, it sucks.
Yeah, multi-million-dollar deals got $1 million deal. When I was younger, I would wonder how $1 million feel. And for real, it feel like I ain't even broke a seal.